ready to go and live. We are good to go. So, welcome back to another episode of the Academy Urban Sports Perspectives. I got it right this week. Before we get into all things sports, all things Chicago sports, let's first go around again and let's talk about, how are you guys doing? How was your week? 2 weeks, I guess. I am getting ready to head on out the country tomorrow morning. So, yeah, I'm feeling good now. How are y'all?
Doing pretty good myself. I'm not going out the country, but I'll be doing a nice little golf trip to Miami at the end of the month. So for a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Nice. It's been uneventful, but it's all good. Just waiting to see what you guys got to talk about today.
Same, but not going anywhere. Well, no, I'm going to Dallas, to the Dallas area in a couple of weeks for Xmas.
That'd be fun.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be great.
Spending time with the in-laws, I see, huh?
Yeah, this is going to be a thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'd like more details, but I guess we don't have time. So
we'll have plenty when we come back from Christmas break.
Okay.
It'll be great. Yeah, we can talk about that offline. Anyways, we are really here to talk about sports, and we can get into it. Not sure how it's. We'll see. We'll see where you all take the conversation this week. Why don't we just go get right into it? Let's talk about these Bears. They just played. Was that Sunday? Good game for them. They beat the Lions. So, I mean, what do we have to say about the Bears this week? I mean, it's Justin Fields staying. Let's flesh out this conversation.
Can I state the kind of the obvious here? Ever since Ultimate Male said the Lions was his team, they've been playing like absolute garbage.
I forgot about that. They're no longer my team. It's over.
Oh, wow.
I divorced them over the weekend.
You're gonna abandon them?
Yeah, it's done. Over the weekend, I was like, oh, that's it.
They're frauds anyway, so yeah, you might as well.
Look, I'm gonna say this though. I've been real hard on the Bears the whole season. I've been extra hard on Justin Fields, but I must say they are both starting to win me over just a touch. Let's be honest about this too. The individual game means nothing. It's all about how we finish out the season and the evaluation process with Fields, Eberflus, etc. So with that being said, like I said before, I've been like, I don't know about this regime. Fields is maybe good, maybe he ain't, maybe this, maybe that. But if I had to make the decision today, I probably would side with let's run with Fields in the future. I'm still on the process or the decision process of kicking Eberflus out the door. I don't care how good the defense is. I think he did enough early in the season to show that he's not the guy. He still has to go. But Fields kind of winning me over. I could see a team winning with him unless they're like they mentioned in the media, blown away with some of these draft prospects. Maybe he is the right decision to keep him around. But the game, but Lions been playing like trash. So I'm not giving the game itself that much credibility. Like, oh, the Bears are all great. They beat the Lions. The Lions are winning top of the division, still 9-4. But for the last, I would say, month, they've been playing like trash. So I'm not giving the Bears too much kudos for that, especially since they were at home. But next week will be a better test against a more stout defense, get a better evaluation on the road. That's kind of what I want to see. Not playing against these lame teams like the Cardinals and Detroit looking weak. Sorry about this, but the Vikings kind of be up and down, inconsistent. I want to see some good, solid defense against the Bears offense and then I can make a final decision. But yeah, but it's trending up, and I guess that's good for Chicago fan base.
Well, I guess on paper, though, ultimate, Detroit was probably the best team that they're going to play, right, for the rest of the season.
That record for sure.
By the record, right? But so really, I mean, I think the only challenge for them is this weekend. For the rest of the season, I think that the Cleveland, even though Cleveland's offense isn't looking great, Flacco had a pretty good game last week. But we all know that the thing about Cleveland is that defense. And I just kind of go back a couple of years ago when Justin Fields went up against that defense, it was a massacre. I mean, Miles was all over the kid. So I just, I think this weekend is going to be a bigger test. They have to go to Cleveland. Now, if they win that game, I'm going to say they run the table because it gets easier from there, in my opinion. Green Bay didn't look great. They lost to the Giants, so that's never a good thing. So I think every team, even Cleveland's beatable, but you got to go in a hostile environment to do it. So I think at the beginning of the season, the experts said that this team would probably win 7 games, right? I think that's what Vegas had them at 7 games, and right now they're at 5. So 7 looks kind of realistic, right? We know 2 teams they probably should beat, Atlanta and the Cardinals. They should beat Atlanta and Arizona. That would give them the 7 games. So, they're pretty much, if you think about it, at the end of the day, they're probably going to end up right where most people thought they should be. And that's what everybody being as optimistic as possible at the beginning of the season. We said about 7 or 8 games, and that's still realistic. So really, they kind of, if you think about it, it was a shaky start, but this is going to be kind of a strong finish. And they're going to pretty much end up where we thought they would be. I will say this, though. I'm a Justin Fields fan, but, I try to look at it from a business perspective. I like that under all of the scrutiny that he's had from the media, he's still been able to go in there and handle his business. And really, he's kind of led the team to 2 victories. He closed it out in Minnesota. He scored running touchdown, threw one to DJ Moore, and really was all the offense. The running backs didn't do a whole lot. I mean, he wasn't great against the Lions, but he did enough to help put 28 points on the board under all the scrutiny. And again, it's on paper, the Lions is a pretty good team. So again, I go back to what I said 2 weeks ago. My thing is if you move to a different quarterback, you should only do it if you're upgrading the position. If by your evaluations, for sure you're upgrading that position, then you do it. Just me looking at it, I don't necessarily see an upgrade. Caleb Williams is pretty much the same kind of player as Justin Fields. And again, he's going to have an adjustment period his first year. I don't think he comes in lighting on fire. He's going to have to make some adjustments. So, I think for me, I still think you keep Justin Fields, get him a stud receiver, and then work on that offensive line and get you some draft capital. You're going to get a lot of draft capital for Caleb Williams for that number 1 pick, more so than this year than last year. So get the draft capital. That's what I would do. Shore up that offense and do what you can to get some more pieces on that defense. You got some money to spend. That way you can take this to another level, maybe win 10, 11 games next year, maybe actually go to the playoffs and have a playoff run. So, I'm still thinking you stay with Justin because I don't know for sure that Caleb is an upgrade or any of the other quarterbacks. So I think because we're just going to be guessing that they're going to be better, you just stick with what you know. We do move on to a new coach, but only if you're upgrading. Don't get another guy that's never done the job before. Unless you're going to get a stud coach, a coach who's done it before, who's led a team to championships. Unless you're upgrading, then you just stick with what you got. But I think Eberflus has earned enough to possibly retain his job, even though I don't think he should. So, but that's my take on what I've seen with the Bears so far.
Wow, that is really optimistic, D Money. That is really, really optimistic. And ultimate, first, I have a question for you. What are you
Yes,
drinking?
sir. What was the question?
What are you drinking?
Oh, that's an old fashioned, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Very good.
Yeah.
So okay. Um, just to kind of piggyback on what's been said thus far. The Lions win was the best win for the Bears this year, period. It's nothing has actually come really close to that. They they took that game to them. The Lions are still a good team. They may not be the juggernaut that was predicted when they were 8-2, but that's still a pretty good team, and that's still going to be the NFC North representative in the playoffs. That's still going to happen. Um, as far as I think I got some all right, some bad news for me is that I stated that probably 3 or 4 wins was probably going to be it this year. Okay, proven wrong. They could win 6 or 7. I mean, will they go 9-8? I doubt it. This is the Justin Fields revenge game against Cleveland. This is the one he got sacked 10 times. Myles Garrett pretty much used the bathroom on his head. It was just a really bad game. But again, that was the previous coaching team with Nagy, so forth and so on. As far as Eberflus, no, he could go 9-8 and he still won't be able to save his job, in my opinion. That man has to go. He can go and be a defensive coordinator somewhere because it turns out that if you give him the pieces, he can coordinate a defense. He just cannot be a head coach of the team. Also, you do have to get rid of the offensive coordinator as well. So that needs to go as well. The thing is, the question is, if you do remove those pieces, which I do think are going to be gone, and you bring in a new regime, do you bring in a new regime with a new quarterback? More times than not, when you do like a clean sweep like that, you usually are trying to get everything done when you have the number one pick. I do agree that as far as what you have seen from Caleb Williams and from Drake May, I've seen them kind of turtle a little bit, especially Drake May in the recent games. So I'm not sure that there is an upgrade. And I do have some good news here is the quarterbacking in the NFL really isn't good. Pat Mahomes is struggling. Of course, now his receivers can't line up on sides for whatever reason. I mean, Kadarius Toney probably should just step away from football and play soccer, do something else, something else where he can be on sides. You know what I mean? Josh Allen holds onto the ball long, just like Justin Fields does. Now he's had 4,000-yard seasons, which Justin Fields hasn't. True enough, but the quarterbacking across the league, I know we focus on Justin's faults a lot, but those are the prevailing faults around this entire league right now. There ain't a Peyton Manning out there. I mean, okay. Oh, you have Pat Mahomes. Yeah, Pat Mahomes is still obviously number one, and is a pretty much a surefire Hall of Fame quarterback. No question about that. One of the greatest quarterbacks ever, in my opinion, already. But other than that, and even he's struggling this season because his receivers can't catch. But other than that, you don't have.
And Matt Nagy. Let's not forget Matt Nagy's his coordinator.
And Matt, right? But it's more so his receivers can't catch because if receivers would have not, sometimes they're missing the balls and popping them up to defenders, and then they're taking the ball back. That's happened on a few occasions to him this year, where there've been interceptions because the guy couldn't catch the ball, and they feel that they should be 10-1, maybe 12-1. They feel that they should only lost one game because of all these drops by their receivers. It happens. Look, last night, Tua loses Tyreek Hill. Tua then looks just like a normal, regular old QB. That's just what's happening in the league right now. The defenses either have really caught up and have now passed, which means now the NFL will make more adjustments to make the offense more reliable. But that's just kind of what happened in the league. So the Justin Fields stuff that we're all seeing because we watch him every week, unfortunately, I think every quarterback has this issue. I have these issues about giving up, taking sacks when they shouldn't, holding the ball longer than they shouldn't. That's just the quarterbacking. That's just the way it is now. And I guess I would be siding with D Money in regards to, I think we should be keeping Justin Fields because I don't honestly see any upgrade coming from college that I've seen, that's better than what we currently have. And I don't, I don't see about, I just feel that if they took a quarterback number one, I think we still be in the same, talk about the same stuff 3 years from now. And I think that, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut y'all, but that's a good and a bad reason for that choice because you don't want to really be in a position to say we're going to keep this guy because there's no one better. You really want to be able to say we're going to keep this guy because he's going to lead us to the promised land. That really should be the answer, the reason you should keep a guy. And the second thing is, I agree, the quarterback play has been average or subpar this year. However, the few teams that we are considering to be the top Super Bowl contenders, they do have good quarterback play. Dak Prescott, Purdy out of San Francisco, a couple of the other teams. They do have some consistent quarterback play on those teams. Everybody else has been like a roller coaster, up and down, which is what the Bears have been, up and down. The few that have had that consistency at the position, those are the few that we were saying, okay, they have the best odds to go to the Super Bowl. So do we want to be in the water with everybody else saying, okay, we might get it, we might not, or do we want to be that consistent, top of the wave, cap type guy where we're saying, yeah, we're here all the time, and we don't have to worry about the ebbs and flows of the season.
Okay,
but,
so
like I said before, but to stress my other point, I think for now, the decision will be Justin Fields. I'm just not liking the reason for it. The reason is there's no one better versus, oh yeah, he's definitely the guy that's going to get us there.
But okay, so I get what you're saying, especially about Dak Prescott. However, those two quarterbacks that you mentioned, the talent around them is enormous. And if they didn't have that talent around them, you would probably be seeing what you're seeing from Justin Fields, which is what I'm saying. If you put more talent around him, like another, like a left tackle, another wide receiver, because Darnell Mooney, I think it's time that we stop that experiment. I think that's done. If you put more talent around him, I do think he will be better. But again, it really depends on your starting cast. Because look, Dak Prescott was a cook, as a chef, and all he did was make turnovers. That's all he did. And now he seems to have found his thing. Now it's against mostly subpar teams. Now the Eagles are playing like crap as well right now. This league is up for grabs. Will Dallas find a way to not make it to the Super Bowl? I would still bet yes. And I would still bet that if they go up against San Francisco again, they'll get destroyed. Now, maybe not as bad as they did earlier in the year because they are playing better. But let's see what happens to Dallas in these next few games where the competition is going to be pretty serious for them. Because people still think Philadelphia will win that division because of Dallas's upcoming schedule. If Dallas can go ahead and ball out and continue to ball out, then maybe that's your team that will probably go up against the 49ers again for the NFC Championship. But again, right now, league play right now, it's kind of helter-skelter. Jordan Love, who has, we thought, figured things out, kind of sucked yesterday, right? DeVito, that quarterback won against them yesterday. I mean, Monty.
I mean, a lot of these rookie quarterbacks are winning. The guy from, like you said, the Giants won a game. The guy in Tennessee won a game.
That shouldn't have happened. But look, Tua sucked when he didn't have Tyreek Hill.
No doubt.
So I don't know what's going on. I mean, I guess this is what they wanted. They wanted this parity across the board because you got like 10 teams in the AFC that are 7-6, which is just absolutely crazy. It's not 10 teams, but you know what I'm saying. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's, who I don't know. Right now, there is not a clear-cut Super Bowl favorite, not even San Francisco.
Now, Ultimate, I got a question for you. So with this upcoming draft, you look at the quarterbacks that are available. Can you say that you see a quarterback that's going to come and upgrade that position?
No, I mean, and I agree with you there. I mean, I'm agreeing with you saying that if we had to make a decision today at the end of the season, I probably would, go with Fields for that very reason. He's been playing fairly well, not great like you mentioned, but he's been playing fairly well, and I'm not saying anything that will exceed that in the draft. All I was saying is that's not a great reason to do it. The reason should be we've identified him as the person that's going to be that solid, 10-year quarterback that's going to keep us in a playoff or Super Bowl hunt, until he's out. So, but we'll see. Maybe he will get to that point. Maybe he won't. I just want to be where the fools go. Like I said, I need to see against some better defenses. And then against Detroit, and Detroit's been playing, like we mentioned, playing like some trash. They had that good early start. They've been kind of faltering, down the stretch. Like Fruit said, definitely the Bears' best win of the season because of that reason. Division game, Detroit winning record, winning the division. But, they gave the Bears some plays at the end. I mean, it's like one of those things in baseball. In baseball, like you said, you give a team extra outs, they're going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing, like if a batter gets some extra strikes, like if the fielder misses a foul ball out of bounds, and then you give them extra strikes, they get a hit. That's how the Bears made that last play. Two people missed plays. One, the refs missed the intentional grounding, gave them an extra play there, and then Detroit jumped off sides. The Bears weren't even going to run a play. So two dumb things had to happen for that play to even happen. You gave them extra plays, basically. You gave them the intentional grounding, and you jumped off sides to give them the free play. So without those extra plays or giving them those extra chances, I'm not sure what would happen. Then we may be still talking. I think they still would have won that game because they were up, but we still be talking about he didn't make any big play. He was okay, but I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's still just too much uncertainty. But what is certain is he's probably a little more solid than, like you mentioned, the guys that are coming up in the draft.
Well, look, here's the good news on that. On the one play that they did jump off sides, how many times has Aaron Rodgers did that to the Bears where he got a free play and he flung it down the field and they got a big game? So that's good to see. But yeah, man, listen, this what's going on right now in this league, man, some of it is actually kind of tough to watch. Even the God, CJ Stroud had a really rough game on Sunday against the Jets, which, hey, we could possibly see that again this week in Cleveland, what they may do to an Ohio State quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't call it, but hey, what if he balls out? If he balls out and, they jump on Flacco's head like they did on Justin Fields a couple of years ago, I mean, you never know. But it's this league right now is meh. It's very mediocre right now, and it's kind of everyone. Yeah, there's some flashes here and there, but right now, this is NFL kind of. I guess I can't really say it no other way. The NFL kind of sucks right now.
I think Tom Brady said that just recently too. It's pretty watered down.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it makes it more interesting though, right? Because there's no clear-cut favorites. Well, San Francisco's starting to look like a kind of a clear-cut favorite, to be perfectly honest. I don't see too many teams beating them. AFC is kind of wide open. I don't know who you pick from there, but yeah.
But think about this. San Francisco hung 42 points on Dallas and Philadelphia this year. That's pretty impressive.
That's saying a lot because they both have excellent defenses. So especially Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the thing about Mahomes, you said his numbers are down. So basically what we're saying is, as a quarterback, you're only as good as your receivers. Basically, that's what we're saying. Because if you can be the best guy, but if your receivers can't catch the ball, if you don't have that stud that can get the yards after the catch like a Tyreek, like a DJ Moore,
Mhm.
then you really are it's gonna be a struggle for you. And it's kind of Mahomes' fault, right? His contract kind of prevented them from keeping some of those stud receivers that they have.
Well, not really. I think he has deferred money. And the thing is this, he threw 42 touchdown passes last year with these same receivers. For whatever reason, right now, they can't catch. So, I mean, they won a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. So, I mean, I like they do have now, they will have to upgrade the receiver position because, I mean, if I'm a defense, I'm just doubling Travis Kelce. And as the the rest of them can go ahead and try to, catch the ball.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you, my friend. So,
All
right, well, we'll have to see what happens with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish with this. I don't think the play is as bad as everybody thinking. I think everybody looks bad because everybody is looking good. I mean, it's like that thing. If everybody's on the same level, it looks average, even though it may be good. Maybe all these defenses have stepped up. Everything else is the same. So I don't think it's as bad as what Tom Brady is making it out to be. I think it's just everything is elevated. The expectations are higher. All the quarterbacks probably are more athletic, better. People were expecting those kind of things from them, and I think it's just kind of averaged out. And then the defensive, I think, has kind of stepped up.
Well, one thing I have noticed in regards to the defense, they let them play in regards to, there are several plays that I've seen that in previous years would have been easily called pass interference, where they are mugging the hell out of these receivers and nothing's getting called. And that's in college and in pro.
Yeah, I think they want to let them play down the field and let the defenders have a chance to get to the ball also. Quite often they call it pass interference, the defender just trying to get to the ball. The receiver's blocking away. I mean, so I'm glad they're letting them play. If it's egregious and you grab them, pulling them down, that's one thing.
But I've seen that,
play
though.
to the ball, run the guy over. It should be a non-call. And I think they've been calling it that way. So I think that's appreciated because it was way too many bogus interference calls over the years. I like being a little physical down the field. So I think most people appreciate that. Even Mahomes appreciated it until he got bit by the offside last week.
That was a great play.
I like letting them play.
That was a great play too, by the way. That was actually kind of an all-timer, but again, but he didn't know where the ball was apparently. And you've seen the memes where he's like practically in the Bills' backfield. But I don't get it. That guy sucks. That guy's awful. Yeah, they need to go ahead and get rid of him.
I agree.
I have a question. We haven't done this in a couple of weeks. Has your guys' Super Bowl predictions changed at all?
Mine is Dallas, so no.
Still Dallas.
I'm still Frisco.
I could have sworn I picked Frisco at some point.
Yeah, I'm still Frisco.
If
yeah,
that's the case, I'm still on 7. I think they're the best team in the league, and I think they're gonna be, barring injury, I think they're gonna be hard to beat.
All right, everybody's stayed the same, I guess. I'm still Cowboys. I have another question for y'all. Have y'all been watching the Bulls?
Last night. That's it.
I will say this. I intentionally did not watch the Bulls, but I have been keeping up with the box scores and the highlights just to make sure I kept my finger on the pulse. And I think it's fool's gold. I'm not buying into those 4 games. There may be something to it with LaVine out the lineup. Some other guys feel more empowered. They're playing maybe a better brand of team ball, passing around more assists. However, it's still fool's gold. I'm not going to buy into it. Okay, let's run with this. Nah, you still got a clean house. LaVine's obviously going to get traded. You still have to get rid of DeMar. Contract's up in the season anyway. If teams want Caruso, let them have him. You can get some good stuff out of it. So I'm not buying into the fact that the 4-game win streak would take me off the path to blow the team up. Blow it up, bottom out, see what happens next year with the draft.
Now, I agree with that. This is still an irrelevant team. Although they won 4 in a row, at the end of the day, they're not going anywhere. So, So we'll just kind of hang on and see what happens. But I don't have a lot of high hopes for the Bulls. Not this year.
Right now, actually playing the NBA champions. it's not a blowout, but they're losing, so that'd be 2 in a row. And then we'll be back thinking like we were a couple of weeks ago. When are they gonna trade all these players? If they waiting for the 15th, fine, but just make sure it get done.
Now, maybe now they can get something for Kobe White if they want to trade him because he is showing that he can shoot the three. So that could be a good thing.
You know what? I think they actually keep Kobe White, and I just think that you can still get some good stuff in return for DeMar and for Zach LaVine. It does seem like they may have figured out something in regards to them playing better. They seem to be playing harder, which is good. And to me, you know, the Zach LaVine injury is a little concerning. Wondering if they're going to actually be able to actually trade him because he's going to be out with his foot. Now, if this is kind of all a mirage, just to make sure that he's absolutely healthy when they can go ahead and drop the bomb, then that's fine. But I'm a little concerned with that. That we're not going to be able to maximize what we can get for him in the open market. But they're playing, ever since the last time that the four of us got together and we were kind of bitching and moaning about how bad Chicago sports was, Chicago sports actually kind of turned up a little bit since then, which I'll give them credit for that. Not that they listened to us. Maybe they did, or maybe they should. But that's kind of what has happened since we have all been discussed. Now, have I just let go of my allegiance to all Chicago teams? Well, yeah, that's still the case. But and I do have a new baseball team now. If Ohtani had signed with the Cubs, I would have went with the Cubs. But I am now officially a Dodgers fan. And what they did in regards to the market, in regards to his contract, was a stroke of genius.
It was a stroke of genius, but it's my understanding that it was Ohtani's idea.
Oh, it had to be. It had to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's a 10-year, $700 million contract. I know we're kind of skipping over the Bulls because I think we gave the Bulls enough for what they have done. But it's a 10-year, $700 million contract. But he's deferring $68 million per year until the end of the contract. So for the 10 years, he's only going to actually get paid $2 million a year so that's $20 million. And the other amount, the other $680 million, will start after the contract is over.
But that's so that they can get more players and make that a solid team.
That's correct. But they already have a solid team.
Pitchers. There's a pitcher in Japan. I can't think of his name.
Yes,
who's a stud. Yes. And Ohtani's Japanese. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
So that I think I want the Dodgers to make room for that guy.
Yeah, he wants to get into the playoffs because he hasn't sniffed. He's been just as bad as the four of us. We haven't sniffed a baseball playoff, and we don't play baseball. How about that? So, so he wants to really get into the playoffs. And the other thing here is, that loophole that the Dodgers figured out, that's going to get closed in the next bargaining agreement. So but that's great that they actually saw that and he was able to do that. Here's the other thing now. He's not going to be poor because he earns $50 million outside of baseball per year.
Of course. Right. How much does he make in Japan?
Right. Yeah, that's with the Japan stuff, right? So he earns $50 million outside of baseball already.
Right. So that wouldn't work with every player because he makes so much outside the game. Like some player like, Louis Robert, he won't be able to do that because he's not making that money off the field. So that's a unique circumstance where that can play out and he still be good.
But think about this for a second. That means any team could have made that deal, right?
They weren't being creative about it, though. They weren't thinking about it yet.
Yep. And I feel bad for the people in Toronto because it was all said that, we're waiting for this plane to arrive at the Toronto airport.
The hopes.
Where Shohei is going to come down and ascend and become a Blue Jay. And none of that crap was true at all. And you had some baseball writers with not only egg on their face, but feces as well on their face. Just feces.
Without doubt.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
It is. I mean, think about it. If he makes 50 million per year, so that'd be another 50 million. So that's another 500 million plus the contract. So that's $1.2 billion over the next 20 years.
Plus, I'm sure they're going to find a way at the end of that contract to not have it taken the California tax. I don't know what they're going to do. Well, if he gets traded or goes to a different team at the end of the 10 years, if they have friendlier tax laws, that he can take it out and pay the tax of that particular state at that time, right?
I don't think that. I think this 10-year contract is it. He'll be 40 when this contract is over.
Oh, well, then there you go. So that's his retirement. He moves to Florida, and he's got his money, and he doesn't have to pay California taxes on it.
Yeah, or you go back to Japan. Yeah, he probably, yeah.
I think he'll probably go back
to Japan.
Yeah, he'll probably go back to Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes more sense, actually.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing. I need to make $700 million.
We really don't. You really don't. Nobody needs that much money.
Yeah, but
I'll take the $2 million.
Well, I'll take that too.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Man. All right. Well.
But I can't hit or pitch.
And you're old, so it doesn't matter.
It's that, you could work on your skill set. What? Make some history.
There you go.
I don't know. All right. Well.
You can start your own podcast. Oh, I guess we're doing that, huh?
I'm bringing in no money. Anyway, so let's
kind of broke as hell right now. It's Christmas time.
Let's talk. Let's move on to the ultimate performance. Why don't we do that?
Ultimate performance. Man, I didn't think anybody did anything that was that outstanding and that ultimate this week. But then I was thinking it's going to be kind of on the field, off the field. I guess as a result of what's on the field, but what happened is off the field. So anyway, I don't know who watched it, but Saturday was the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And none of the quarterbacks we were talking about, the Bears may be interested in, we're in the top 4. But for this week, due to his performance Saturday, or what led to his performance Saturday, getting the award, the ultimate performance goes to Jayden Daniels, LSU quarterback, 2023 Heisman Trophy winner. He beat out, Bo Nix, Penix Jr., and Money's guy, Marvin Harrison, who I think came in 4th in voting. But yeah, so give it up to the young. I think he's a 5th-year guy. Who probably knows this? Is he a 5th-year guy?
Yeah, he came from Arizona State.
Came from Arizona State, came in LSU, did his thing, and he was by far, he wasn't obviously unanimous, but the votes, he far outpaced the other candidates. So ultimate performance, Jayden Daniels, big ups.
Just remember, Fruit called this a couple of weeks ago that was your Heisman front runner, right? Remember that. Fruit said that.
That's right. That's right. And just to reiterate that none of the quarterbacks that are mentioned in terms of the Bears were in the Heisman Trophy running, which doesn't mean a whole lot because I can't remember too many good Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. There have been a few, but most of the Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks have been bust. Pretty much all of them, except name a good one. Peyton Manning, did he win Heisman?
No, he did not.
There you go.
Joe Burrow would be
Burrow.
Baltimore's quarterback,
Lamar Jackson.
But Baker Mayfield, bust.
Yeah.
Eric Couch.
Oh God.
Bust. Tim
God,
Tebow
ever.
Bust. I mean, I can go on and on. Think of some more. Vinny, I guess it was okay.
Cam Newton.
Cam.
Okay. He faded quick, man.
You know who else won the Heisman? Was that the guy from did he win the Heisman? The guy
Did Cam Newton win the Heisman?
He did.
He did.
Okay. All right.
The guy was LSU, I think, went to the Raiders. He busted out real quick. Big guy.
Oh, he did not win it.
He did not win it. You know what?
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell.
He did not win the Heisman. He was just a fat guy that liked to scissor.
So anyway, winning the Heisman doesn't mean, not just quarterbacks, winning the Heisman doesn't mean you're going to have NFL success. I guess is my point.
It does not. Bryce Young won the Heisman, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, Bryce Young is Heisman Trophy winner. Yes.
So anyway, there you go. Give a little hand clap to Jaden Daniels, ultimate performance of the week.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, let's move on to hot garbage.
Ah,
Well, honestly, kind of like ultimate, it wasn't anything that really just stood out that I felt good about giving this person hot garbage, that I had pleasure giving them hot garbage. So really, I'm giving hot garbage to someone that I really like. So that the hot garbage award goes to Pat Mahomes for the temper tantrum he threw on the sidelines. Now, listen, I understand. It was one of the best plays we've seen all year to finish a game and to win the game. Really, that would have won them the game. And it all gets called back because your guy was offsides. He was standing in the neutral zone, or as some people said, he was actually standing on the Buffalo Bills backfield.
yes.
Yeah, that's how bad it was. But Patrick Mahomes, I get it. That is a reason to lose your mind because it was a great play. You're a competitor and you wanted to win the game. A great play was drawn up and you guys executed it to perfection. It got brought back. But I get the anger, but it was targeted to the wrong person. The refs made the right call. The flag was thrown immediately. So it wasn't like they threw a late flag. It is what it is. The refs have to do their job. So really, you should have been doing that to your receiver. Was it Kadarius Toney? He's the guy. It's kind of like you have a bad day at work, so you take it out on your family. That was kind of that situation. He was upset, rightly so, but he took it out on the wrong person. You should have been taking it out on your receiver. So I get the anger, but it was misdirected. These guys have to do their jobs. You got to protect the other team too as a referee. So you have to make that call because it was the right call. And yeah, Buffalo benefited from it, but it would have been wrong not to make the call just because it was a great play. So again, at the end of the day, I understand, Pat, but unfortunately, because of your misdirected tirade for this week, Pat Mahomes, you are hot garbage.
All right. I'm gonna piggyback here and kind of take up for Pat in regards to this. You're right. It was misdirected. He should have did it to the wide receiver. But as the quarterback of the team, the leader, you can't do that in public. Now that's something you do in private, but in public you can't. Because you're going to still need that guy, regardless how bad and how awful this guy is. You're going to need it, and so you can't. So he's a guy that's going to always say that his teammates should have deserved better, right? So you can't do that now. He did apologize later. I guess it was today that, you know what? Hey, my bad. I should not have said that, which is good. I'm glad he did that. But yeah, should he have went off on the ref? No, but I definitely understand, like you said, I understand why he did it, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't say, my receiver sucks. He can't do that because then you will absolutely lose him for the rest of the season. Seeing that they still have playoff aspirations. Now, that being said, the rising star, this is tough this week because one, Ultimate Male took my guy, actually. That's one. So yeah, it sucks, but I mean, you're the Ultimate Male, so I'm gonna kind of lay that there. So in thinking about the rising star, I hate to do this, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it to the Cup champion Los Angeles Lakers for winning the first Cup, the first season Cup championship tournament for the NBA. No, you know what? Check that. I'm not doing that because LeBron still needs to go ball because that's still ridiculous. Sorry, and I will still listen. This man is worth over $1 billion. You cannot have craters in your head. You just can't do that. That's just effing ridiculous. So the rising star is not a rising star, but this is kind of the ultimate performance. It goes to Ernie Johnson, who goes in this week as a Hall of Famer sports broadcaster.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
35 years in the business. And he's getting the presentation this evening. Ernie Johnson, for being just an absolute stand-up guy for the best studio analyst show on television, the TNT Basketball Crew. So congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when they made that, or I watched when they made that announcement, or when they surprised him with that announcement on air. So.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that. Good. Excellent.
That's awesome. Did he tear up?
He was about to, but then he, it's like, you know what? Hey, I can leave right now, and he took off the headsets for a second. But no, he was still stunned. But yeah, he shouldn't have been though, because he is one of the best that has ever done what he does.
Yeah. Well, good. Congratulations to him. Me. Doing too much. I have something unrelated to sports, but I just want to give a doing too much to TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, because
They're back.
yeah, they're back. And I don't think anyone cares. Yeah. Anyways, they have a podcast. They're trying to explain this whole thing and spin it and say that I don't know, they're really just doing a lot of talking, and that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
They're doing more than talking.
Wow. Their story is that, we weren't cheating on our spouses, and we were both in the process of getting a divorce, and we've been friends for a long time. Like, this is weird. Also, y'all were cheating. Also, you're saying that nobody knew, but why was it so secretive? Why didn't you come out to at least your bosses? So now I don't know. It was just no one knew, but we've been together for a long time. But it was just a whole bunch of nothing. I don't know. It was stupid. And the whole situation, I'm just kind of over it. And they have their ex-spouses are now dating.
Correct.
Wait, their ex-spouses are dating each other?
Yeah.
Correct.
Too weird.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
Too
like,
weird.
why do we need to know?
Yeah, why do you know? That's too weird. Yeah. Keep
Are
that
they
to
back?
yourselves.
And so anyway, so they're trying to explain away all this stuff. Just like, no one cares. Like,
That is weird. That's weird.
But there have been porno movies for wife swapping for decades, so it's not really that big of a deal, really. Whatever.
Here's my thing: they could have just left us alone and been happy.
They could have.
And now they have this podcast, and there's like small talk about maybe they're gonna get their own reality TV show. No one cares. Just go be with each other and be happy and leave us alone.
I bet they had a lot of viewers though, so you were one of them, right?
What?
Did you watch their podcast?
Oh,
okay.
To another podcast, and then they were talking about it, and I'm like, why am I hearing about it? And plus, it was like all over the internet. But like, I'm not listening to their. I didn't even watch Good Morning America to begin with, so I barely knew who they were in the first place. Now I'm forced to know. The end.
Spicy, I have a question. Now that Travis Kelce's team has lost a couple of games in a row, when is that breakup song by Tate?
I don't know. We talked about this a while ago. I always thought it was fake the whole time. But
I can't see how he went from his previous girlfriend, who was, let's be honest, she was stacked,
and black.
And black to flat Tay. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
As a hard pivot. I'm with you on that one, man.
Well, it's more than a hard pivot there, Buster. But she is a billionaire. I mean, I get that.
I think that got something to do with it.
Yeah, that billion, that billion can make the flattest person look very curvy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was fake.
I don't get the conversation. I mean, when you are dating a black woman, you spend time with a black woman, and then you go to the whitest white woman in the world. How do you do that?
Well, also, I mean, he's pretty. He can adapt. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he's a white guy, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
different. He's a different kind of white guy.
Well,
That's
honestly,
a hard pivot.
honestly, I don't know, right? Like we say he's different, but the second that he grew that mustache and cut off his hair,
He turned white guy again. He turned I am Mr. White Guy.
yeah,
But he quickly grew that beard back, didn't he?
yeah, it was no longer. He was. I don't know if I want to say this, but
Say it.
no, I
Say it.
won't.
The
Say it.
swag was
Say it.
gone.
Well, in a very nice way. That's a nice way to put it. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
Right.
So but
Hunky swag now activate.
yeah, it just wasn't. He just, I don't know. But I'm over it. I'm tired of hearing about them. I mean,
yeah, I'm
it's
same.
difficult.
Agreed.
Definitely nobody cares about that. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, same. And because we are look, we kind of already know how this is going to end and what record. I'm just trying to figure out, is it on the next album or is it on the album after that?
I
Yeah.
won't be listening to it.
Same.
Oh, did you see the movie, by the way? Did you go to see the Beyonce movie?
I have not seen it yet.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Stunned.
I know. I've been busy, and then I was actually going to make my mom go see it with me, but
Oh, good luck with that.
she said she would. And
Okay.
then we were supposed to go over the weekend, but then, we just didn't.
Wait a minute. This weekend when you were here?
The past weekend. I asked her if she wanted to go. She goes, well, she said, if I'm being forced to go. And
Wow.
I think she would have liked it. I want to watch it, though.
By the way, Spicy, we have a problem with your dogs.
Okay, see.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we have a problem
Save
with
all of the
because
dogs.
because the last 2 nights
I know.
we've woken up to surprises on our carpeted bedroom floor.
Do you want to know whose fault that is?
Your mom?
No, it is. Well, it's y'all's fault. I mean, honestly, he gets it from Ivy, and that's all I gotta say.
Oh, hell no. No.
We can take this offline,
No, we can't take this offline. Hell no, she does not, because Ivy doesn't do that. I mean, and 2, like, big, just
okay.
Come on.
Because for the sake that we're still recording, I'm going to just say
And we're live too, by the way.
We are live.
Your dogs, yes. And Teddy needs his balls cut off for that too.
All right. See, I will no longer take this slander. Okay?
Teddy's a punk. Teddy is nothing but a punk and a philanderer.
This
Dog ass MFer.
slander.
That's what I said.
Hey man, I always am opposed to anybody getting their balls cut off. So man, we have to draw the line in there.
Anyways, enough of that. Is there anything else unrelated to me and my dogs that we would like to
I
share?
got one more thing. My last thing is, I was going to say the Bears are going to close out 2-2, but I think they're going to have an Eberflus moment, so I'm changing it to 1-3. Mark my words.
Well,
Wow.
hey, look, 6-11 is still better than 3-14, right?
Yep.
I think they win the 2 gimmies though. Arizona, I can't see them losing to Arizona and Atlanta. I mean, I guess it's possible, but
They're going to lose up in Green Bay, probably lose next week, and they're going to have an Eberflus moment in either Atlanta or Arizona, lose one of those. So that's 1-3. Yeah.
Wow.
it's on the record.
On the
All right.
record.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, we'll see.
And also, one last thing. Also, goodbye to Al Michaels. My understanding is that he's gotten dropped from any playoff coverage. So I'm thinking that's probably it for him. So,
Well, he said he was coming back next year, though.
yeah, that's what he said. But he's coming back to do the Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of the playoffs or anything bigger than that,
Yeah, well,
like that.
Did Amazon have any contracts for the playoffs?
no.
No, but like he hasn't in his contract. He still can go to the other networks to do playoffs, which is what he did last year.
Well, yeah, I think he's proven that he shouldn't. Not this year. I think he's kind of proven that. Yeah, you know, it's you know who's good was the Bears broadcaster. Adam Amin is a
He's good.
He is great. He's great.
really good broadcaster on basketball and football. by the way.
Baseball. He does baseball
If he
too.
does baseball, he's good.
Yeah. And is a DJ.
That Mr.
Yeah,
Booty.
he knows. That's what James was saying. He knows music very well too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very talented. All right. Well,
So is this it for the year? Because I mean,
what I was just about to ask, when are we coming back?
yeah, because D Money is gonna be in Miami with the booties and flamingos for a couple of weeks. And you know, Ultimate, I'm sure you're gonna be doing something on some ski slope somewhere. You're gonna be
Somehow.
gallivanting in Mexico, and I will be stuck here in Austin, Texas.
You'll be
think
in
you're okay.
Dallas.
Hmm?
You'll be in Dallas.
Yeah, but you know, it's not this.
So I'm thinking
Oh.
January 9th for our next show.
Can't do that. That's a
Yeah,
holiday.
yeah,
January 9th?
it's a holiday in this household.
Whose birthday?
Hella Bougie's.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I'm the 8th. So she's going pretty good company there. All right, so I get that one. Well, I mean, we can do January 2nd if you guys want to, you know, right
Oh.
after New Year's.
I'm not
I
working.
mean, I'll be down.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
a
working.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, January 2nd. All right. So we'll shoot for January 2nd. We should have a lot to talk about.
Well,
Sure,
we'll be
we
back
sure
in
should. Yes, we
Texas.
should.
Let's
Set it off.
let's close out this episode for the year, I guess. Happy holidays to everyone and a happy new year. Yeah.
You know.
2024.
I'm gonna say Merry Christmas because they don't say Merry